Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody has had a great week so far. Today is officially Friday as we do march forward into the weekend. We are seeing some volatile price action as expected. I've been telling you guys this entire week, even when we initially dropped on Bitcoin, that this entire week could be volatile. I also warned you guys about the drop on Bitcoin, so I hope everybody was able to position themselves fairly nice to buy the dip on most of these assets. But yeah, we're going to be talking specifically about a few things in regards to most of the market, and also addressing what could be happening very soon. So with that being said, let's actually jump into this. Let's actually address what's happening. And yeah, so first up, we're going to refresh. We are down about 4.55%, sitting around that $2 trillion mark for the global crypto market cap. We do see Bitcoin down roughly almost 4%, down actually almost 10% on the 7-day span. And we do see Ethereum, of course, considering the fact that Bitcoin dominance is fairly high right now, down significantly more. It's almost 2x what Bitcoin is down. So overall, altcoins are down significantly. We even see XRP down to key support levels. It's actually been a little bit volatile overall. And as we do march forward into the weekend, like I said, we could see even more volatile price action. I'm going to be specifically talking about HBAR as well, because Hedera Hashgraph is one of those assets that I do have a very, very close eye on right now, as the Bitcoin HBAR chart looked fairly nice. So with that being said, let's actually jump into HBAR. So overall, the market is going to be continuing to do this, game that it's in. I've said that it could last until the end of the month, and I still think that that is the case. We'll most likely get some solid buy zones. For an example, we almost got a 28.5-cent buy, specifically right on support, which is very good. And now we regressed the 30-cent level. I think that we kind of stay in this level for a little bit of time if Bitcoin could cooperate with us. I think that this is fairly good still. We are still in that nice demand zone from pre-pump zones, even going back to April, May, and so forth. So it still looks fairly strong in terms of price action. We're just waiting for the next breaking point, which would be 37 cents. And a hold above 33 cents would most likely be the best indicator for us to actually go higher in terms of a price action. We haven't been able to hold that 33-cent zone at all. So I'm actually waiting for us to hold that. And even if we go back to, pretty much May 13th, when we actually officially held that level, that's when we actually seen higher price action, even going back to April and even going back to the original move. So that level is key to hold. I'm waiting for 37 cents overall. I'm not going to get excited when 33 cents is held, because this would be the actual validation pinpoint. So I would be concerned with 37 cents being held. We still have fairly good momentum though, still holding around the 30-cent zone, which I'm fairly happy with. I know a lot of people are most likely happy with this as well. I know a lot of people still aren't happy with the price action overall, but hey, it is what it is. Most altcoins are still not in their breakout points. A lot of altcoins actually haven't even made an all-time high yet. So I would just be waiting for the next major breakout event on HBAR, because I do think that it is going to be one in the books. And I think it's going to be a historical move, honestly, because realistically speaking, when we talk about what HBAR is doing, this is one of those altcoins that haven't had a bull run in the past. So I'm still expecting some major moves. We got to address what's actually going to be happening once we do see the FOMO happen on this asset. But I would say watch for 37 cents, watch for a hold above 33 cents. So this entire chop zone here is where we want to be in and actually hold. So that is what I'm watching for currently on HBAR. Now, in terms of the HBAR Bitcoin chart, so a lot of people were kind of confused on what I meant yesterday when I said watch this chart. Make sure that you watch it. This is a good indicator on how high we go. And actually, let me duplicate this tab and actually just show you guys an instance on why it is actually very important. So overall, okay, so we'll go back to May 13th, right? May 13th was when we nearly made a new all-time high. Now I want to show you guys on May 13th what actually happened. So here's that major breakout event to nearly an all-time high. And this is what I was saying. where if we even break out of this line, it doesn't mean that we're back at all-time highs, because this was where the all-time high was actually made back on March 15th. Just to give you guys an idea, here's, oh, sorry, let me close that. Here's March 15th. Here's the all-time high. Here is that indicator on the Bitcoin HBAR Bitcoin chart. This is where we didn't make the all-time high, but we were ranging to have that all-time high broken, but Bitcoin ended up pretty much rug pulling us, if you will. Now, just recently, and sorry about that, just recently we had that same sort of almost breakout event. Okay, here's that line, sorry, excuse me. And if we actually look at where we were nearly at, so we were only about 6.4% away from breaking out of this line. Now, why is that very significant? Why is this an important chart to watch? Well, it's very simple. Whenever somebody is talking about an altcoin, for an example, decoupling from Bitcoin, you will see it first on this chart, okay? This is where you will be watching if your altcoin is really about to make a major move in the market or not. Now, the thing that's concerning me about HBAR's Bitcoin chart currently is we ended up breaking down, okay? And yeah, sure, we broke down to some, overall support zones and resistance zones, but we actually broke down a little bit below it. So I'm actually watching for some bearish price action playing out on this chart. But this is the level that you actually want to see it back to. I think that the next major event, we could see a little bit of a retest down here on this blue line here at about 632 sats before we end up breaking out of this 838 sats. And just to give you guys an idea on what that is, if you guys are confused on anything that I'm saying, this is measured in sats in terms of the value of HBAR compared to Bitcoin. So just to give you guys an insight on that. Now, in regards to this, we're obviously watching Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. For an example, here is Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance has been ranging. It's been showing some bearish price action, but now it is kind of ranging in this nice chop zone. So I'm watching for the next major event to happen in regards to this. I think that we are significantly lower now, which is very good. It means more money is flowing into alts, but the thing is that this could easily have an instance where an influx is similar to the beginning of June or even in May. But the good thing is, in regards to this, is the fact that on the next major move here, because even if we go to Bitcoin dominance going back to, for an example, we'll go to May 15th, right? So here was May 15th at this nice solid level, and I think that the lowest at a pinpoint it was about 40%. The good thing is, even if we go back to HBAR's USD chart, this was May 13th, right? And if we actually look at dominance on the 13th, it was kind of just breaking down. It was actually having a nice bearish breakdown. The good thing is, and the good news is that we're already at these lows, all right? So we're already at those lows where we were in terms of a breakout event. Now, the only thing that really needs to happen in order for HBAR to truly break out of this wedge, to truly get to the all-time high and go into price discovery, is the market cooperation. And when I say that is, I mean Bitcoin needs to still move, right? Because we still have 41% dominance over the market in terms of Bitcoin. So in order for us to really get to those highs, we still need Bitcoin to moon. And when will that happen? Well, it's very simple, right? So I have a slight technological guess. And when I say that is when we talk about the market and we analyze what's happening, I still think that we are still in this nice downward pressure. And I'm honestly still thinking that we go lower on Bitcoin. I've honestly said that we could see 42K, right? We could see this level down here. And the reason why I say that is because even if we go back to most of the altcoin patterns in terms of the pretty much bull runs, right? So right now, currently on Bitcoin, we've made about almost a 20% drop. It would actually be officially about 20.5% on 42K. If we go down to 40K, it would be 25% roughly. And if we go down to about 38K, it's about roughly almost 30%, which I think is totally fine. Honestly, I think even going down lower is still fine. I still think that we are still very bullish overall. But why am I calling for a lower price action on Bitcoin? Well, it's very simple, right? I've been talking about the past cycles. I've been talking specifically about the 2017-2018 bull run on Bitcoin because it is very clear to me that we ranged for roughly about 21 days before we ranged for another 84 days. So the bearishness was about 21 days, okay? And I have that marked on the chart here. It was about a almost 41% of a dropping point. Now, the thing that's very interesting to me is that we didn't really have any sort of bearish price action throughout this entire time, though. The only major dropping point here was about a 43% drop, followed by this 40% drop here. So we technically don't have to go lower on Bitcoin. We could dip down a little bit lower, which is totally fine, which I think is still welcoming in my opinion. But if we go from the high up here, right, the all-time high to the bottom down here, we already had a massive crash of almost 56%. So realistically, we don't need to go down lower than 42K. And we actually technically don't even have to go lower than what we already printed, which was roughly 43K. So even in the sense, and sorry about that, let me just get that that's fine. So overall, when we look here, and we actually go back to 2017, 2018, right? Now, this is what I was saying. So I've been watching this entire market very, very closely, right? And it's the idea that even when we look at what's happening in the market, right? When we look at what's happening now in terms of consolidation, when we look at even going to the price action that we see right now, a 21-day followed by an 84-day would be the perfect, and I say this very, very lightly, but I still say it's very accurate in my opinion, but this would be the perfect play-out event where we do say that we consolidate for 21 days roughly from this, low that we printed, and it would basically be on the 27th of September, followed by an 84-day of a major move in the market, all the way to the 20th of December. And I think that that is fairly accurate, honestly. I still think that this is going to play out perfectly. And the reason why is because this entire 4-year cycle has shown no signs of a differential pump. And this goes all the way back to even HBAR, right? Because we obviously need to talk about HBAR. Because if Bitcoin ranges for that long, okay, yeah, sure, we could have some sideways momentum where, for an example, since we're not breaking out of the all-time high yet, if we go from this candle all the way to the 27th, okay, that is almost 200 days of consolidation. And I'm sure if you've all been in this market for a fairly long time, you'd understand that consolidation means a massive move in the market later on. And say for so, we top out around the same span of December into the beginning of in the beginning of January, similar to how every single major move happens in the market. We'll just say January 3rd, right? Because that is where a lot of altcoins pretty much topped out even in pretty much 2017, 2018. And let me get rid of all of this stuff that's on the chart. So in order to get to my first move, right? My first major target, which is $3, it's roughly 891%. Then to my second target, it's roughly about 1,500% from our current prices, by the way. And then if we look at $6, it's roughly about 1,880%. And then we'll just go all the way to my last pinpoint target, which is $10. It's roughly about 3,200%. Now, you might be wondering, or you might be questioning why I think that this is actually accurate or possible. Well, it's very simple. We've been in consolidation for this long, and I still think that we still have a lot of time left in order for us to consolidate even more for 196 days. So, overall, if I was going to tell you guys what to do here, if I was going to tell you guys what is happening in the market, I think that this is a nice consolidation. I think that Bitcoin has had a healthy pullback for a major blow-off top event to happen in the fall. So with that being said, HBAR still looks extremely healthy, still looks extremely bullish. The overall market looks fairly good still, even after this pullback, which I know a lot of people are concerned about, whatever the case may be. But overall, we look extremely healthy. So there's nothing to worry about in regards to what is happening. I still think HBAR is going to make new all-time highs. We're obviously watching the Bitcoin HBAR chart right now. I'm obviously watching Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance, but overall the market looks fairly good. So there's nothing to really be concerned about. Things still look extremely healthy. I mean, I'm still expecting a massive bullish fall. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.